This video is brought to you by Against the Flow of Mississippi. Against the Flow of Mississippi is a book about Jake Fayard, a Marine veteran who is unhappy with the political machine running the state of Mississippi. He decides to fight the corruption from the inside. Jake will face more challenges than he ever has and will stand up for what he thinks is right. His notoriously hot temper will push him to the edge of murder, along with his friend and brother Kobe Barhanovich. Together, they will fight the system and give the power back to the citizens of Mississippi.
Against the Flow of Mississippi was written by Anthony Oksenholt and was published by Oksenholt Biloxi Publishing, LLC. A link to the book will be placed in the description below.
Selling Biloxi Belle and Biloxi Boy Cooking and Fishing is about how to have fun on the water. We're going to do a little bit of cooking. We're going to do a little bit of rebuilding a sailboat. Maybe doing some sailing. We're going to do a whole lot of boating, and we're going to have a whole lot of fun. Thank y'all, and I hope y'all enjoy it. Also, if you like the music, check out my brother Ben Thompson, Barefoot with a Stetson. Name of the song is Barefoot and Ready to Party.
Take a tall glass and fill it with ice. Pour some vodka to make it nice. Then add some rum and a little gin. A shot of tequila for the win. Next comes orange liquor and sweet and sour. Mix a splash of cola, get ready for the kick. You want a drink that'll set you free? Get yourself a Long Island iced tea. A pub on the wharf or a bar on the beach. All the dance moves your friends can teach. A frozen drink with a straw and umbrella, or a premium bottle from a nice wine cellar. A cup of ice and a little Sprite. You're getting ready for a fun night. Add some light rum and a little more. Then passion fruit juice is your next pour. A little lime juice and you're almost done. Now a big shot of 151. You're drinking something that is insane. Enjoy drinking a hurricane. A pub on the wharf or a bar on the beach. All the dance moves your friends can teach. A frozen drink made with Bacardi, bare feet and blue jeans. Get ready to party. Put some cherry brandy in a cup. Grab some ice and fill it up. Add dark rum and light rum too. Then pineapple and papaya juice. Add sugar and get ready for some fun. The last ingredient is 151. Your senses will flood like a tsunami. You're about to drink yourself a zombie. A pub on the wharf or a bar on the beach. All the dance moves your friends can teach. A frozen drink made with Bacardi, bare feet and blue jeans. Get ready to party. Sun, party on the pier. There's nothing wrong with ice cold beer. Get a frozen drink made with Bacardi. Barefoot with a Stetson and ready to party. Barefoot with a Stetson and ready to party. Frozen drinks, warm nights, feeling hearty. Raise a glass, feel the breeze, and you'll see every sip's a vibe when you're drinking carefree.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Sailing Ixalib. Your host, Anthony Oksenholt. Hope y'all doing well. As you can tell, I'm back in, I don't know what I want to call this. Let's see. I guess I'd call the truck Studio A. The house would be Studio B, and the boat Studio C? That sound right to y'all? I don't know. Shit. I don't even know. Sorry, y'all, this tired greetings from Lake City, Florida. Folks, it's been a hell of a day. I am so glad when I can quit truck driving and just go sailing full time. Don't know what year that'll be, or what century, what decade, but that's the goal. Anyway. We're going to talk about two of my favorite subjects. We're going to talk about guns, blue water communications. I'm trying to get this YouTube channel right. I ain't guaranteeing I'm going to go viral. But if you've seen the sponsor, y'all could definitely feel free to go buy my book. And I figure if I get about 100,000 of y'all to buy my book, I could retire. So y'all be sure to go buy my book. Matter of fact, y'all buy it. Give me a phone call, 228-337-2099, since I'm on the road traveling from sea to shining sea in this great country. The only place I do not go is New York City because my company cannot afford my rates for me to drive this big semi through New York City. If you buy one of my books, I'll autograph it for free. Make me famous, y'all. Anyway, I'd rather be sitting on a boat writing. You never know. I may change genres and become the next Hemingway. I don't know where all this energy's coming from. Maybe it's the caffeine that I've been drinking all day. Oh, Blue Mountain Dew. Highly recommend, especially for the sugar and the ginseng and the high fructose corn syrup and all the stuff that's probably going to kill me in about 10, 20, 30 years. But hey, we're here anyway. Also, by Lucky Strike. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that a violation of YouTube terms of service? I know. Not advertising cigarettes. Don't sue me. All right, that's my attempt at humor anyway. So let's get on with the topic of discussion here. I want to talk about guns first. And then we're going to segue guns into communication. Now, y'all, a little background on me for those of y'all that do not know. I am former law enforcement. By law enforcement, I mean corrections. And if those of y'all who say corrections is not law enforcement, I will fight you to the death on it, period. Guaranteed. Y'all may not realize it now, but at one point, as y'all can see by the picture, I was actually a pretty squared away looking dude before the long hair and the long beard. Maybe I should get back to that. I don't know. We'll see. Right now, I'm just old redneck truck driver, and I kind of enjoy it. Well, I enjoy the long hair and the beard, not having to put on a uniform and not having to shave anymore. I don't enjoy the truck driving. So, just to make that straight. Sleeping in your own bed is just, yeah. Anyway, back on topic here, we talking about firearms. So, those of y'all here in the U.S. know that we have the God-given Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. It's understood, right? We all know it. We got several organizations, fuck the NRA. Don't like what the NRA did to a friend of mine who was running for Congress back in 2014. They kind of went for the guy who was against open carry in Mississippi, and did not support the guy who was at the time the only Class 3 firearms manufacturer in the state. Not to mention they backed up somebody like Harry Reid. Not trying to get political here, but that's why I don't like the NRA. Sorry, not sorry. No apologies. I don't like the NRA. I think they speak with forked tongue. Matter of fact, I'm not a member of any gun owners association or any gun clubs or anything like that. I'm not a club guy. I'm me. I like to have fun. You know, I'm not saying that I haven't carried professionally, because I certainly have. This is not my truck, so company policy says that I cannot carry a firearm in this truck, so I don't. I like the people I work with, and, well, I got something else for those who would try to get stupid with me, you know. These hands are rated E for anybody. But I don't have a lot of problems out here on the road like that. I don't really have a call for it. And I've been out here on the road I've either been on the road or in transportation or in law enforcement of some variety in my life. One of the two. I've carried a gun out here on the road, absolutely. I've 100% carried a firearm out here. I've carried a firearm in 48 states. Y'all can believe that. I've carried a firearm in just about every major city in this country at some point or another in my life. Either in a truck, in my personal vehicle, which is always armed, either on the job doing corrections or doing bail enforcement, as I've done at points in my life, or just for my own personal protection, because why not? I hold a valid Mississippi firearms permit. Mississippi firearms permits reciprocates in about 31 states, I think, now. Whereas those of y'all traveling to Mississippi, we accept everybody's. It's a gun culture down here. We expect you to carry. Long as you're legal and long as you're not stupid. Now let's translate this over to sailboats. You know, I'm pretty sure as a U.S. flag ship in international waters, U.S. law applies to that boat. So if you got a British flag boat, British flag yacht, and you try to carry a 9mm in international waters, I don't think it's going to work out too good for you. Maybe, I don't know. Not quite sure how that works. So I'm speaking to U.S. sailors only on this part of the video. You can skip later when I start talking about blue water communications. And I'm doing 2 in 1 because this is the discussion phase. I'm going to do the practical phase at some point later on. Right now we're just discussing, or I'm talking to the camera, talking to myself, whatever. However y'all wanted to classify it, that's what I'm doing. Who knows? Maybe nobody will watch this video and I'm just talking to myself. We'll see. Anyway, guns on boats. All right. Is it a good idea to carry a firearm on a boat? Maybe. Let me ask you a question. How confident are you that you can defend yourself with your firearm? Better question. How confident are you that you're going to not get your firearm taken from you and used against you? Anybody can go put holes in paper downrange.
From them.
But how could you get into so many fights and then always come out on top? I nearly tied you shooting.
Friend, there's nobody up there shooting back at you.
My blind grandmother that's been dead for 20 years could put rounds downrange on paper. Anybody in the world. I could take my 4-year-old nephew and let him put lead downrange. What kind of defense do you know? Well, first off, what kind of storage are you going to have on your boat? Most of us that have boats, we like to drink.
Oh, I hope you're smart enough to know that Who Hit John don't go with guns.
Oh, sure. Yes, sir.
Well, now that we got that cleared up. As my Mexican friend said, to the pure life.
Let's face it, we like to go to the bar while we're in port and go have a few beers. I certainly like a beer once in a while, though I do prefer to drink on my boat. I'm not much of a bar guy, but a lot of people are bar people. In most states, if not all, and with good reason, it is against the law to go into a bar with a firearm. With good reason. Firearms and alcohol don't mix. Me, I don't like dealing with a bunch of drunks. That's why I drink alone or drink by myself or drink at home. Maybe with a small group of friends. Maybe at somebody else's house, as long as the crowd is small. I don't like a big crowd. But you get somebody, even if it's a bunch of cool people at the bar, there's always that one dumbass. Can we agree? And I don't want somebody pulling a Curly Bill Brocious and just trying to shoot the moon with their 9mm. If you ever seen the movie Tombstone, you'll know what I mean. And he wasn't using a 9mm, obviously, in that movie. But 9mm is pretty, contemporary. A lot of people carry them. So you get Mr. Dumbass drunk trying to be Curly Bill Brocious, pulls his Glock 19 out, and just pop, 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 starts shooting. Good reason why alcohol and guns don't mix. Can we all agree? So, being that these laws are in place to try to protect people from being stupid, and again, I agree, there's good reason for it. Where are you going to store your firearm while you at port? You got a gun locker on your boat? I would venture to say that most of y'all do not have a gun locker on your boat. To keep your firearms secure. Most of y'all probably don't have a really good way to secure your companionway. So what are you going to do when some criminal boards your boat while you're at the bar? They've done it before. And they try to steal some shit. Then they see you got an unlocked companionway and they go down there And when they get down there in the saloon, they look and, why isn't this cute? There's a Glock 19 right there. I need me a Glock 19 to go commit other crimes somewhere. Matter of fact, this rival criminal pissed me off, and I think I'm gonna kill him with this Glock 19 I just found. What'd you do? You just handed a criminal a murder weapon. If you're like most responsible people, you probably bought your gun through an FFL, and regardless that most states do not have gun registration, when you bought your firearm from an FFL, you went and did the long form, and they put that gun on there and that serial number on that long form, it's registered to you. Federally. And that FFL is required by law to keep those records for, I think, 7 to 10 years? Gee, so, what's going to happen when that gun comes back to a crime? You're going to get some very unpleasant times ahead of you. Because I believe somebody's gonna want to have a word or two with you, and they're gonna be wanting to know why you were so stupid and irresponsible with your weapon that it wound up in the hands of a criminal because you didn't know how to secure it. What if you go to a foreign port? Second Amendment only covers the free 50 and the other territories, I would argue, that are under the U.S. flag. But let's just say you decide to go to one of the islands, Barbados. Ain't no Second Amendment there. They may require you to declare your firearm. Now, let's assume you don't. Now, the most expensive firearm that I'll carry as an everyday carry is probably a Glock. Maybe a SIG, but probably a Glock. I think $500-600 is plenty enough money to risk. It's good enough gun to do what I want. But let's just say you want to be extra and carry your range toys on your boat. And you'll have your Dan Wesson 1911 with you. You're not going to get an argument out of me. A 1911's a nice gun, and Dan Wessons are very nice guns. What does a Dan Wesson 1911 go? About $2,500? Damn, that's the price of about 5 Glocks. But you go take this nice Dan Wesson 1911 and you hand it over to that customs agent. What's the chances you might not get that gun back? Pretty good, I'd say. Banana republics. And I'm not picking on Barbados. I'm not saying Barbados is corrupt or not. I have friends from Barbados. I'm using that as an example of a small country that kind of pretty well does whatever they want to do. They're independent to do that. You might lose your gun. All right. Let's take it a step further. Some of y'all like AR-15s. I'm not terribly crazy about an AR. They have their purpose. And it is a very formidable weapon. You're not going to get an argument out of me. I don't like them, but I'm a fan of the old Kalashnikovs. I'll tell you that now. I like my AK-47s. But you have that kind of weapon on board, you might have to answer some questions in port about why you have it. But how about when to use your firearm? Any of y'all taking a course on when to use it? Because, you know, civilians can be guilty of using excessive force. Your Glock 19 holds 15 rounds. You can get bigger magazines for it. But from the box, you get 3 15-round magazines and a Glock 19. Wonder how I know that. Oh, yeah, I got one. What are you going to do? Somebody tries to steal your dinghy. You going to put 15 rounds in them? Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. Come on now. You going to do that? That's excessive force. Just because you mag dump down range to show out that you can, you know, rapid fire your Glock, and it will rapid fire. God forbid it's a class 3 weapon with a Glock switch in it. But let's assume that you go ahead, you just mag dump on somebody, reload, mag dump again, because you're pissed off because they tried to steal your boat. They tried to steal your dinghy. Is that reasonable or prudent? No. Absolutely not. It may make you feel good, and I certainly don't hold with a thief. I may want to do the same thing. Man, that Steven motherfucker, let me just go ahead and just kill that sumbitch. Let me put 15 rounds in his ass. That'll show the next guy. No. Only thing it's going to show is going to show you what prison looks like. Let me tell y'all something. I've been in prison. I worked there. I started my career not more than 30 miles from right where I'm sitting, Rayford, Florida. I can tell you right now, if you do that shit here in Florida, make sure you get up early Saturday morning because the coffee cake's pretty good. That zesty patty, though, I ain't too sure about. And the goulash with the ramen noodles, looks like you'll be shitting for about half the day, but hey, go ahead. They'll lay it out on the card table in the day room. Go right on ahead. But you going to prison, son. Was it worth it? All right. Let's talk about piracy. Let's say you're out in international waters. First off, avoid areas with high piracy. The Horn of Africa would probably be the top of the list of places that I would strongly advise you avoid. I don't know about y'all, but being taken hostage in Yemen just don't sound like fun. Not to mention when these sumbitches go to board your boat, it ain't just going to be one pointing one gun at you. You probably going to have a handful of them pointing guns at you, and every one of their barrels are trained on you. And unlike you, more than likely, Mr. Viewer of my video here, they're probably trained killers. So you go out there and you go see that they're coming up, and you go grab your AR, assuming that you have it, slap magazine in it, charge it, come up, You got it at your shoulder. Oh shit, which one do I shoot first? Fuck. Oops. My bad. If they hear about your death, you think you gonna have a grave for your people to come visit? Nope. They're just gonna put your ass on a t-shirt. That's gonna be your funeral. You're gonna be on somebody's t-shirt. Hate to say it, but y'all know I'm right. So, is it really worth it? If you got 4 or 5 of them pointing guns at you, and you've got one gun by yourself, maybe you got somebody else on board that's 2. But they got guns on them too. And if your boat's like most boats that I've seen, you only have one place of ingress and egress. You go up and down that companionway, that's probably where they're going to be aiming, because that's where you coming from. Is it worth getting killed? I don't know. In that kind of situation, what I've seen some of them people do, you might be better off dead. Hate to say it, it's the truth. I'm all about truth. But I can guarantee you this, if you come out pointing guns, you're probably going to go meet whatever god of your choice is available. You going somewhere. Sandblast Islands, I've heard, starting to have a little bit of pirate activity over there again. Sandblast is a very popular spot on your way to the Panama Canal. They're not as dangerous, I would say, as around the Horn of Africa, but there's still a potential for dangerous and violence. You think they're going to be unarmed? Always remember, people, they didn't stop making guns when they made yours. All right. What about weapons retention? Any of y'all taking a weapons retention course? I have. I train that way. You're not going to get my weapon. If it's on my hip in a holster, you try to grab it, you're going to pull back your hand in about 4 or 5 different pieces, because I'm going to break it. And my intention is to hurt you. And the reason my intention is to hurt you is so you don't hurt me. I call it being prudent. You know what I'd take over a firearm on a boat? I'd take an air horn. Something loud. Something ear-piercing. The higher pitch, the better. I would much rather scare the shit out of somebody with that than come out shooting. Or use it in addition with a gun, if I had it and knew I was in the right, knew I was legal by whatever country I was in, whatever, wherever I was. I'm 100% in favor of using an air horn to scare the shit out of somebody. 100%. As a matter of fact, I'm probably, because I'm gutting my boat, as y'all seen in the last video, I'm probably going to set up an alarm system like that, something with some outdoor speakers that's just shriekingly loud. With several places that I can set that off. I would much rather scare them into jumping in the water, and I don't have to resort to violence. That's a great alarm system to me. Again, to each his own. I know some tactics and tactical advantages that you may not know. You may know some that I don't know. I don't know everything. I'm not an expert. I just know how I trained and what I've been trained on. And the other thing, and this is going to segue into the second part of this, is what do you do next?